Welcome, everyone. This is Tracy Una Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, and today we're going to be discussing the fourth in the series of how to speak with Spirit and how we receive from Spirit. And this one is entitled Opening to Spirit's Memos. So let's get started. So Spirit's memos, they're just notes from Spirit that we get. I like to call them spirit whispers because honestly, they're kind of surprising. They come out of nowhere. They're very gentle, just like a whisper. It's just very gentle. You may even feel like it's almost a loving sense that comes around you when you're receiving spirit whispers or spirit memos. And they're quiet a lot of times. If you're not used to receiving from Spirit, you'll notice at first especially that the whispers are very quiet. You may feel like you're just thinking the thoughts, or you may just feel like you may have heard something just very quick. A lot of times people think that it's their monkey mind or it's just their to-do list going through their head. But when you stop and pause and really concentrate and focus on these spirit whispers, you'll notice that subtle difference. So by receiving divine messages, we're able to tap into those spirit whispers and we're able to decipher Spirit's memos a lot easier. This also helps us to open up. When we start using these different abilities or modalities, then we're able to open up. We're showing the universe and Spirit that we're willing and able and ready to receive these spirit memos or spirit whispers, and they'll come to you more. The more that you use these, the better that you'll be able to identify them as compared to, say, your to-do list. Also, you'll also recognize when they're coming to you a lot quicker, and so you can concentrate on them even more. So some of the ways that we receive divine messages are the clairs. There's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. There's claircognizance, which is clear knowing. There's clairaudience, which is clear hearing. And there's clairsentience, which is clear feeling or sensing. When we use these clairs knowingly, then we're able to open up a little bit easier to receiving those spirit messages and memos. Now, by working with the clairs, some people say they're more apt to receive messages audibly. So you'll hear those spirit messages a little bit more like a to-do list that's going in your mind or monkey mind, something that you can hear. Sometimes people say after they've really worked with their clairaudience that they hear it like somebody shouting at them sometimes, and there's nobody else in the room. So sometimes, especially if you're in danger or Spirit is just trying to get your attention, it may come as kind of a surprise because it may be not that whisper. It may be a very loud vocal to get your attention. Now, some people say they see things. This also includes being able to see signs and symbols and be able to kind of figure out what those signs and symbols are. Also, with clear seeing or clairvoyance, then you're able to possibly see Spirit as well. With claircognizance, it's just a knowing. It just may come into your mind, or you just may get a feeling that, nope, that's how it is. I don't know how I know that. I just do. And you may say that a lot, and that is your claircognizance that you are experiencing. Now, for clairsentience, this is almost as an intuitive thing. When we sense things, a lot of times we are going to experience them in a physical manner. So we're going to be tapping into whether that's spirit or whether that is just other energies, but that clear sensing is just sensing things. You may have, if you're around spirits, sometimes people get the hairs on the back of their neck or on their arms stand up. It's just because of that energy that is around you. Also, just a feeling, like if you're walking down the road and all of a sudden you feel someone's watching you, or you feel there is a scary situation or not a good situation, you're going to get a feeling. And that's just like intuition, and feeling into that. But it's the clear sentience, that clear feeling. And like I said, with intuition, it's very similar to the clairs, especially clairsentience. But with our intuition, what we're really doing is we are allowing for things to tell us things. We're allowing for the outside forces to help us intuit things. And that could be, you may be an intuitive psychic or an intuitive medium. These are just people that feel into what these psychic messages are. When you use your intuition, you're almost just using all of the clairs all together, because you're going to be sensing things, you're going to be seeing things, you're going to be feeling things, and you're just going to be knowing things. And so you could be an intuitive psychic, or you could be an intuitive medium, or you could be both. Just because some people are better at being a medium or better at being a psychic does not mean that they can't be both. You can be all of and the above. So just know that even though you may claim to just be a psychic, because maybe those ways are easier for you to receive messages, doesn't mean that you can't tap into the mediumship part of it as well. And by working with all of the clairs together to heighten your intuitive skills, the easier it's going to be to receive the message is either psychically or through your mediumship. Pendulums are a great way to begin receiving messages. All it really takes is just a string and a bauble on the end. A bauble could be a necklace, it could be a pine cone, it could be a piece of wood, it could be pretty much anything and everything. My first pendulum was a wood pendulum. I still have it and I still love it. For some reason, the energy just flows through it very quickly. The wood actually is in the shape of an acorn, which is really interesting, but it works beautifully. And if I have any questions that need to be answered, and I'm getting kind of different feedback on my crystal pendulums, then I grab my wood pendulum just to give me very clear, accurate advice. Signs and symbols. This is something I find actually a lot of people do this on their own. They may not think that that's what they're doing, but really it is. So if I say the word rainbow, or if I say the word beach, or if I say the word storm, what does that conjure in you? Do you get a feeling? Do you get a word or a phrase, or do you get just something that bubbles up inside you? What is your first impression? What do you think of? These are signs and symbols, and we all have a tendency to do that with pretty much anything. I don't think it's so much of a judging thing or placing things in boxes. What I think of it is it's actually kind of going with your intuition, and you're intuiting what is coming to you. Now, not every time that I say rainbow are you going to think pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Maybe at some point a rainbow to you is going to mean peace. It just really depends on where you're at, what you're doing, and what's coming to you with that sign or symbol. It's a wonderful way to communicate with spirit, and it's a wonderful way to really heighten your ability to receive those spirit memos. Channeling. This is a great practice. If you've ever sat down and done a mind dumping exercise, this is channeling basically. So what you're doing is you're just writing down all of the these, those, or that's that are in your head. Even though you think there are only a few things in your head, you'll be surprised, especially when you sit down to write this out or speak this out. You'll be surprised at all the things that just kind of start coming through. That's just because you're tapping in and you're channeling. When you sit down to do this, and you pretty much you're telling the universe that you're ready and willing to receive messages. And so it is going to do it. So just be prepared. Even though you may not want to be calling it channeling, because for some people that's not really channeling. For some people, it's just allowing another entity to take over your body, such in the case as Sylvia Brown. But it doesn't have to be that way. All you have to do is just tap into the universe and allow the channeling to beginning. Cards. This is a great and fun way to actually receive divine messages. You'll be surprised whether it is with oracle cards or it's with tarot cards. You'll be surprised at the information that you can receive. You can have it specific to romance, you can have it specific to career or vacations or whatever it is. And you may pick the same card for romance. You may pick the same card, may come up for a career change. But what you're doing is you're using your intuitive skills, because you have them no matter what, to receive the divine messages. This is also a great way to use the idea of signs and symbols. There may be a color or an image or a number on the cards that really speak to you. And so either by doing research or just allowing your intuition to carry you through, you'll be able to read the cards for any specific question or idea or anything you need answered. So, opening to receive is a big part of receiving Spirit's memos. So, just say that you are walking down the road and you're just kind of thinking about your day. Can you imagine all of the signs and symbols, or maybe all of the ideas that could be coming to you if you are open to receiving them? One of the ways is just by letting the universe know that you're open and willing to receive messages. Now, just by saying that simple phrase, it's not only telling the universe, but it's telling your own psyche. It's telling your own subconscious that you are willing and ready to receive the messages that need to come to you. And once you do, it's like a ripple effect. It actually goes out and touches other areas of your life that allow you to be open for receiving. All of the places in which you are may hold signs and symbols. And just by stating that fact, your subconscious is going to actually pick out those signs and symbols and relay them to you. Also, when you declare that you're open to receiving, this just says that the universe is also going to give you opportunities in order to receive. So the universe is going to actually put you in situations or allow you to be in situations to where maybe you decide to join a yoga class or a meditation class, or you find a group of friends who are spiritually in tune and that would like to get together and have circles together. The universe is going to put these in your paths for a reason so that you can receive those messages that you say you're open to. And once you do, you are letting the floodgates open. You can allow as much or as little to come through at any and all times. But there are some helpful times and dates, believe it or not. It's amazing the amount of information that can come from just, say, a number 2. It may just look like a number 2, but honestly, when we look at pairing the numbers together, what we're doing is we're seeing synchronicities. So when you see the number 222, it could be 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 2:22 in the afternoon or 2:22 in the morning. And you may see this. And for you, this is a sign or symbol that, hey, pay attention. We're coming through with some really interesting information. So if you could just pay attention for now, this is the time to do it. You may be just like driving down the road and you may see this on your dashboard. And instead of just stopping everything, just say to yourself, I'm open and ready to receive. And then just be prepared that you may get an idea or a suggestion, or maybe it might come to you that you need to call your Aunt Joan for whatever reason. So just be aware that whether it's 2, 3, 4, any of the numbers, when you see synchronistic numbers like that, like a 333 on a billboard or a 44 on a house, just know that Spirit's just trying to get in touch with you, and it's doing that by just showing you these synchronistic numbers. Now, dates. It's very interesting, but from way back in time, when people used to celebrate the solstices and special times of the year, because that happened for so long, and it's still happening today, what happens is the veil becomes thin. The veil becomes thin for us to receive messages and for us to give messages. So during these times, it's very easy to receive those spirit memos. Halloween is a special time now. A lot of people, whether they've heard of the solstices being a time of the veil being thin, have heard that Halloween is a great time to communicate. For a good month to 2 months during that Halloween time, the veil is thin, and we're talking thin. You can receive some really important things. You can honestly, if people are going to see apparitions, ghosts, or spirit, this is the time, a lot of times, that it happens. And we're talking people that are completely and totally skeptical of such things. They're a lot of times going to see things. So Halloween is a great time. Now, the purpose or the reason why it's a great time to receive these spirit memos is because it's not just Halloween. So we call it Halloween, but there's also Samhain, and that is a time when, during a solstice time, that is very important as well, along with the Day of the Dead. And so with these three combined together, it just opens up at this huge, it's not quite like a portal. I'm not going to say portal, but it kind of is. It's kind of like opening up a portal to spirit, because with these, plus you've got All Souls Day and All Saints Day all around the same time frame. So this is a monumental time that if you want to get stuff from spirit or you want to send things to spirit, you may be a little skeptical, so you're not really sure. this is the greatest time to actually work with it. It's very helpful to have these times in order to really delve into your intuition, delve into your clairs. Feel free to try your hand at the psychic or mediumship aspects of your spiritual being. This is a great time to do it because we are very close to being able to tap into that vibrational difference between us and spirit. So just remember that, because we're coming up on Halloween. It's coming. What I really want you to take away from all of these is that when we're open, that is the best way of letting spirit know that you're open and willing to receive these spirit memos. Also, just having the faith of a mustard seed, which really isn't big if you've ever seen a mustard seed. It's teensy tiny. But just by believing that you can be open and receiving these messages, you will receive. And the more you do this and you practice this, the easier and the more you're going to receive. Trust me. And it's so much fun. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate it. Take care. And as always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.